eclipsed the number of quality shahadas, right? We're talking about quality here. Right? Meaning there's 25 people that we give dawah to, and all 25 of them are praying with us during the slave. Those are the type of dawah that we're talking about. I'm not talking about this person just proclaiming Islam. So we've already eclipsed what Nuh alayhi salam did. So does that make us better than Nuh alayhi salam? Of course not. Right? Of course not. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was testing Nuh a lot much harder than He was us. Right? So we want to make sure that we don't fall into arrogance. And inshallah ta'ala, you guys, when you start giving dawah and you get into dawah booths, right, you'll see you have this love for Islam, and you have this love to give dawah. You know, you don't have to go too far. You go to UCLA right now. If you guys are looking to what UCLA does, we only gave dawah there for a little bit. And there was no dawah going on campus. So I and another brother Khalid and another brother would go there and just give a dawah on the dawah table. And all the students that were there, they would be so shy. They were like, how do I talk to these people and these things, right? And then one student will come with us, and they would just sit in the back and they would just listen, and then, you know, they have the courage to talk. Now that you look at them, right, they don't even, they don't even email me asking me questions, and, you know what I mean? Or sometimes when I do respond to their email list or whatever, they'll debate with me, Brother Abdullah, how things work, you know? You know why? Because they're so motivated and they want to give dawah themselves, right? And they start learning new tricks. I wouldn't say tricks, but they learn tricks of the trade. Okay, I'll say it that way, right? So they learn tricks of the trade, and sometimes they'll tell me, "Oh, this works better," and I'll learn from them, right? Because that's the way dawah is. Okay, obstacles to the path of getting the shahada. These are some of the things that you want to just keep. That all of us make excuses for. Right? These are types of excuses that we give ourselves on why we don't want to give dawah. Okay? We always do it. First thing is we expect instant results. We expect to be in the dawah booth and we say La ilaha illallah, and we expect the person to say Muhammad Rasulullah. Right? That's not the case. Right? So we expect instant results. Right? We don't want to talk to people for a long period of time. We don't want to bounce ideas off each other. Right? Alhamdulillah, working with the universities that we've done at George Mason University and American University in Virginia and these places here, we realize that the youth are not so much afraid of bouncing ideas, right? But they're just afraid of being proven wrong, right? So they don't want to be proven wrong or something like that. So they sometimes, when instant results don't come, they immediately feel like they don't want to give dawah anymore. Okay. Number two, I don't have enough knowledge. Right? How many people use that as an excuse? So I don't have enough knowledge to give dawah. Raise your hands. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Right? We always use that excuse. We don't have enough knowledge. Let me ask you a question. If Umar radiallahu anhu were here, and if you were to ask him, are you a scholar, what would he say? Umar radiallahu anhu were here. What would he say? He said, I'm a nobody. How about Abu Bakr? How about Uthman? Uthman, when the Prophet said one time when he was sitting, his thigh was showing, right? And Abu Bakr and Umar asked the Prophet, he goes, "Yo, O Prophet of Allah, your thighs are showing." He says, "So what?" So when Uthman stepped into the room, the Prophet immediately covered his thigh. So they asked, Abu Bakr and Umar immediately asked, like, what's going on? Like, why did you do that with him and not with us? Right? And he says that, how can I not be shy in front of the person that the angels were shy about? Shy. When Uthman used to walk, the angels used to be shy. Right? Because of how great of an individual he was. Right? And how modest he was. Right? But if you were to ask him, do you have enough knowledge, what would he say? He wouldn't be able to, he would never explain that he has too much knowledge. But yet, they never stopped themselves from giving dawah. Right? The story of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when he came to Islam, right? The Prophet, when he came to Islam, it was very fast, right? In fact, the Prophet said, Abu Bakr was the only man that when the message was given to him, he didn't even think about the message itself, he just accepted it. Right? He didn't even think twice about it, right? But what did Abu Bakr, what was the action of Abu Bakr the next day? The following day, Abu Bakr was in the marketplace and he was giving dawah. Right? And who did he give dawah to? The people that he gave shahada to, Abu Bakr, Abdullah, 5 of the top 10. 5 of the top 10 that were guaranteed paradise came, they gave the shahada in the hands of Abu Bakr, Abdullah. Of course, the Prophet ﷺ and his honesty and his his charisma and just the Prophet ﷺ himself, every good thing that we can say about Prophet ﷺ also has something to do with it, for sure. You know what I mean? He wasn't calling on some strange guy, saying like, this is your prophet. Of course, that had something to do with it. But his action, right, at the time of when he became a Muslim, was not of, let me gain more knowledge of Islam and everything before he made that action. No, as soon as he learned about La ilaha illallah, that was enough for him to be able to turn around and talk to another person about this Islam. Right? And we can, how far, we can go Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Hanifa, all these great people, right? If we were to ask them, have they reached the pinnacle of their knowledge? Each one of them will say no, right? But these are the great thoughts of our community. Right? I myself am in need of dawah. How many people say that? I myself am in need of dawah, meaning I don't practice Islam myself, and I need something to tell in my ear, and I need to start worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more frequently, on time, and to do it right. But again, it goes back to the Sahaba and the greatest of people. How many of them, would say that they're not in need of dawah? In fact, we say Surah Al-Fatiha in every one of our prayers and every rak'ah, we recite Surah Al-Fatiha, right? Always asking for guidance. Why do we do this? Why did the Prophet ﷺ, right? We used to pray in Tahajjud where his feet would expand and he'd have all these pains, right? Or some of the Sahaba, they would tell you that, they would say that when they used to stand up for prayers, it's after the second hour of prayer, staying in prayer, they would not be able to feel their feet. So they would say that, if you can go for 2 hours of standing, then you already felt all the pain. After 2 hours, then you won't feel any of the pain, right? So here's the individuals, that worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but yet they say, I have enough dawah, I don't need any dawah, therefore I can start giving it to others. Of course not. Then would they say that? And if somebody does say that, then there's a problem. They shouldn't be giving dawah if that's the case. But too shy. A lot of people say, well, I'm too shy to talk to another individual about Islam and these things, right? And when we're talking about this too shyness, it's not really a good excuse, because especially nowadays where dawah is so diverse, right? And you don't only have to give dawah on the street or in the back of the booth, right? Where you can actually do the printing and the literature and all these different things that we have on pamphlets. You can give dawah on the web. You can give all types of dawah. So this really should not be an excuse, right? You can go on the Why Islam, work with Why Islam, and be in the back of the phone hotline, right? And talk on the phone. And you can even say, well, I only want to talk to girls, if you're a sister, or if you're a brother, you want to talk to guys. You can always do that, right? So that's not really an excuse. And of course, not knowing who you're talking to. Some people say, well, I don't know who this person is that I'm talking to, right? So how can I just start talking to him about Islam? Right? That's an excuse that many of us give. I give that excuse, right? Even though I talk about how we give dawah all the time, when it comes to